All right. So, um, I have an ear infection, and I had a feeling that it was coming on yesterday or even the day before because of my sinuses. Um, and it's my allergies are so. Um, and once I point this out, and then you can't unsee this, but I have really small ears, so a lot of people don't realize how tiny my ears are. So I am prone to ear infections quite easily as an adult. Okay. And um, as I'm dealing with being a caregiver at the same time as, dealing with things that are bugging me, having, issues with me, I kind of wanted to think about or talk about how I'm into herbalism, but I want people to realize that just because I do practice herbalism does not mean I ignore uh, drugs, medication. Um, and at the same time, I don't treat drugs, and this is something I'm saying as a recovering person of doing this. I don't treat drugs like it has to be a part of my life every day. Okay. So what am I doing for my ear infection? All right. So luckily I had some Sudafed because I don't necessarily buy that kind of stuff anymore. But I am, like I said, I am prone to ear infections and sinus infections. So every once in a while, when they pop up, I gotta, do what I gotta do. So Sudafed, okay. Um, Something for the pain. I haven't taken anything yet, but I'm about to probably take Tylenol, and I keep it on deck for my brother's sake. I don't necessarily take Tylenol. I do have ibuprofen, but I think in this case, Tylenol might be better for the pain. And the other things on the herbalism side that I was about to do, and what I actually did. Well, first of all, oh yeah, totally forgot about the other things. So I do take allergy eye drops. There's one I take every day, but in this case, I don't think I need to take it because I don't want to get it too weird. But there is one that do take for itchy eyes, and which I've been dealing with on and off all season. That it is an antihistamine, and that's kind of what I was needing. So all this above your eyes is your open sinus passages, and you've got an ear drainage that goes down into the back of your throat, kind of thing. So I needed something to decongest myself, at least with the Sudafed and the eye drops will kind of help ease some of that pressure and help some of the drainage go down. Okay. And then the infection part. So I was going to do this, but then I decided to go with something different. So I was going to do oil of oregano. It works, honey. In fact, I still might do it, but not in my ear. I might actually just drink some, like drop some in um, it might drop some into my drink really quick before I go and drink some oil of oregano. But what I chose to do, and what I probably will also do in just a second when I brush my teeth, and what I did do is cinnamon oil in my ear with vitamin E oil. And it burns too, but it does not burn as much as oil of oregano. So hopefully, and then putting this thing on it right here, it's already starting to feel better. You know what I mean? And that's great. So I will probably, before I leave the house and go over to my brother's, check on him, will be oil of oregano as well, which like kills infection. Okay, so herbs are not medicine, and medicine is not a daily thing. Okay, and what I mean by that is that if you're taking herbs daily, it cuts down on a lot of things. I've kind of avoided having the sinus infection that I usually have, but then it went deeper. Um, I don't necessarily get things like pink eye, which is kind of gross, I know. But again, um, if you're using herbs daily, using, I don't want to say, well, yeah, homeopathic remedies on a daily basis, it builds up in your system. So you don't wait. And that's where I think a lot of people, when they say, oh, you're a hippie and all this other stuff, I don't wait until something is wrong with me to start taking stuff. It is not, that's not how it works. You already have to have a system in place of wellness. And I can, some things you just can't avoid, like an ear infection. But when I do, then I step it up with other things. So I definitely don't take oil of oregano every day. Now, I don't. Now, I do things like mint, and that's something else. Mint also helps opens up the passageways. So what I'm trying to do is work with my system that eventually I don't want to say I don't need antibiotics, but I can tell that this is not going to last very long. So hopefully by the end of the week, I will be fine. Um, and I definitely won't be in need of antibiotics. Now, since I got a new refrigerator, I would have had already some fire cider. So I was looking in my, kitchen right now, which is being remodeled, for cayenne pepper as well, and I don't have any. So that reminds me, when things get, a little more settled in my kitchen, I'm gonna restock with cayenne pepper because I used to drink pepper tea because that also helps, like, flushes your system out a little bit there. It helps bring up the body temperature and kills off that infection that is brewing in there, okay, and stopping up the system. So yeah, but yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I just wanted to, just make you aware. I was definitely feeling it coming on yesterday while I was at work at school, and feeling kind of malaise. So you got to be aware of your body and how it feels and what's going on. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm not feeling too great. Feeling a little disoriented, a little, dizzy. Wasn't like stuffy, yes, but not that bad. But yeah, down here on this whole side of my head. Um, but yeah, so when you work with herbs, you also have to be aware of your body, self-aware a lot. And then knowing what to do for things like infection, because there's some infections you just can't avoid. Some that are contagious, some that are kind of self self-made, you know. So a lot of the drainage and a lot of the allergens that I was dealing with, it just clogs up the system, and you just get an infection. It happens. All right, so trying to think of anything else. I will probably bring some mint. My so I have a lot of let's see, I have eucalyptus, and I was doing that last night in the shower. So I've got spearmint. I got, like I said, the cinnamon over here. I got the oil of oregano, which I'll probably just drink in a second after I brush my teeth with cinnamon and mint. So again, all this to decongest. Okay, and like I said, hopefully it'll help flush out this infection, and I definitely need to hydrate. So I have some coconut water, but I don't have enough, so I'll have to go find some later today. All right, friends, with that, I'm going to say take care, be well, be good to your body, okay? And yeah, herbs are not medicine, and medicine is not to be taken every day, okay? Bye.